Okay, so we are back with another video. It's KF22, aka Kfresh. You don't know, you now do. I don't think I really went into as much detail on why I decided to learn Korean and Spanish and why I just jumped into it.
This is KF22 and Internet. Yeah, I'm just cutting this video. This is me really going into detail for anyone who just wants to know the straight up reason. I'm learning these two languages for one, it adds a unique flair to my overall business. For the second reason, having to do looking at, stats and everything. But I get into it in the actual video itself. If you're interested in that, of course, grab yourself a little snack or something and watch the video and you'll enjoy it. But these are the main two reasons. And of course, to talk to people. Yeah, back to the video.
It was mostly came from in my viewpoint and what I had seen. I was looking at how the entertainment industry was affected by K-pop and then the Latin American music and the US market, which is where I am. And one thing that stood out to me was the influence that American music, hip hop and pop and R&B, all that stuff, the influence you see that it has worldwide and things of that nature. I would also look at things that got my attention as, was it 2019 or was it 2020? Or maybe even before that. There was a record that the K-pop group BTS had broken. And I can't remember if there's armies that, keep up, put it in the comments section. I can't remember what exactly it was. There's a record on YouTube that they had broken. And it was, I think it was the most views on a YouTube video in, 24 hours? I think it was like 74 million. That's probably broken again by now. But yeah, it was that. And then there was another thing that Blackpink had broken. That doesn't really need to be the deciding factor for me to say, okay, yeah, this is making a huge impact worldwide as far as, music goes and K-pop and all that stuff. But it was just looking at how popular not only the music was, but the K-dramas and all of those things and how much of an impact it had on international. Because I have friends in England, I have friends different parts of the world, and you'd have people just bring up, oh, I'm obsessed with this K-drama, oh, I'm obsessed with this, I'm obsessed with this. These were the things that built up to me deciding to learn both of these languages. I would say I feel like my fashion sense and my music, as well as my Kaden character, I feel like it takes a bit of inspiration from that sense. Not only that, but the things that I surround myself with here. Getting into why I started learning Spanish. There were records that I was seeing, people like Bad Bunny, Anuel, Karol G. You could look at them and see their influence that they don't even speak English as much as they speak Spanish. They're Spanish artists, and it doesn't matter because the music is so good and it has an influence beyond what they make in their native language. And those things also grabbed my attention. And of course, me being in America, most people, it's surprising, most people actually, I believe, I'm not entirely sure, I believe more people actually speak Spanish in America than actually English. I'd have to confirm that. But yeah, it was that, and ultimately, it was those things as a foundation, but on top of that, of course, I just wanted something else to help me pull away from just being a regular artist. So that kind of goes into the general reason as to why I wanted to learn an additional language, and now 2 additional languages. But those specific reasons that I've just mentioned was why I chose Spanish and Korean. Basically, long story short, to me, what I was seeing around me and what I was experiencing, those 2 areas, as far as Latin American music goes and as far as Korean K-pop and everything of that nature in the entertainment space goes, I felt like those had a strong impact. So I felt like those would be most relevant to me as to, if I was to learn a language, these 2 would be most beneficial to me in how I would grow my business and how I would develop as an artist, as an entertainer, and everything like that. So that's my reasoning behind it. I mean, there are plenty of other languages that I considered prior, but you don't have a strong foundation and a strong reason as to why you want to learn. It's hard to not only keep up with it, especially with the days that you don't want to learn and days that I don't feel like doing this. It was important for me to it was important for me at the start to say to myself, why do I want to do this? Do I really want to do this? What is the reasoning? And where do I see myself once I get this skill set? I can appeal to many different people as far as, English speakers and Spanish speakers, huge market on both sides. And then, of course, a standout language, which was an Asian language, which I wasn't sure at the time. I chose Korean because K-pop, K-dramas, all that kind of stuff in the entertainment space had a huge grasp, I felt, and a huge dominant aura. I don't even know if I'm saying aura right, but a huge dominant space within the international space. So that's my reasoning behind choosing those two languages. You know, I feel like if I wasn't in the entertainment space, let's say once I graduate school, I said I just want to stay in like the corporate stuff and everything, I feel like I probably wouldn't have learned Korean. I probably wouldn't pursue Korean. I'd probably pursue like Chinese, more so because it's like a widely spoken language. What is it? The most spoken language in the world? Is it the most spoken language? I'm not even sure. I'd have to look that up. But I mean, a lot of people speak it, so it's one of the most spoken languages in the world. So that might have been a more dominant factor as to why I would choose that over Korean, because I'm not in the entertainment space. But yeah, and again, I think I would still lean to Spanish because I'm in America and a lot of people speak it. So it's a really powerful skill set to add to you if you can speak another language. Having that foundation has allowed me to tackle something as big as a language with much more ease, mostly because you have that foundation and that motivation that you can fall back on whenever you just get into a slump or you feel burnt out, or all that other stuff. And I can't even remember. I don't think there has been a day where I've said I'm not doing it today, unless I'm taking a break, which is actually where, when I say I'm taking a break, like I just take a day off. But even on those days where I take a day off, because those are important too, but even on those days when I take a day off, I'm still listening to podcasts, like still absorbing the language. I don't understand what's being said, but I'm still, getting my ears used to the sound, because I just enjoy listening to it. So, taking on a language is something that you're doing for the rest of your life in a sense, because every day you don't truly ever master a language, because you're always learning stuff. It's an enjoyable process. I mean, even in English, my native language, whatever your native language is, you find yourself every day finding new words, learning new things. What does that phrase mean? And stuff and things of that nature, So it's really cool, man. It's really cool. And even learning a language, like we probably heard this before, but when you learn a language, when you choose to learn a language or more than one language, you begin to appreciate your language more. And my parents, they're from Jamaica, so I begin to appreciate not only my language, but patois and everything that comes with the culture of that language as well. So you look at things a little bit differently, and it's crazy because all these years I've grown up listening to patois and listening to my parents talk, and I can understand it to an extent, because you go to different spots in Jamaica and you might not understand what is being said. But I've even found myself wanting to learn a little bit more on how to speak, because again, that's what I grew up around. So it's a number of advantages that come with it. So I enjoy it, and then you pick up on the culture on some Spanish countries, whatever Spanish you're trying to learn, or if you're trying to learn standard Spanish or a Spanish that's specific to a certain country. Yeah, I mean, same thing with Korean. Again, you just pick up on a lot of things and you learn to appreciate things a lot more. So every day is a new day to get better and improve. If you enjoy what you see, the content, all of those things, we are trying to build a more active community in Discord and eventually on my website as well, because I have a community space on there too, but there isn't too much going on, of course, right now. But stay passionate on whatever it is that you're doing, and just keep focused on what it is you want out of this life. And if you haven't found that yet, I believe that you will if you just keep searching. And yep, KF22, I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let's go.